Hello everybody, this video I want to talk to you about a very important concept in React that is called props drilling. Before I explain this idea, I want to show you how it's working with a sample. So I've built a React project and I've used Vite. If you don't know what Vite is, you can check my YouTube channel and there is a video about a Vite. Okay, so I've created my project using Vite and I've also created a counter. Okay, so this is the counter. It's called counter simple and it uses hooks. There is hook for use state with count and set count. There is an increment function, and this function, what it does, it simply increment the counter. And there is a UI, and the UI says that there is a counter simple. There is a button that called the increment, okay, and the state is incremented the count. And I'm showing the count here on P. So let's run it. Okay, so you see that the counter is incrementing and this is working and everything is fine. But in many cases, during your development process, you start to refactor your code. Okay, so what I will do now, I will copy this and I will call this counter and now I will call it from the app.js. Okay, so and let's call it counter props drilling. And let's see what we have. Okay, so we have these two counter. They are working, of course, but I've did not do anything with this. What I want to do, I want to refactor this. I want to put this inside a component, and I will call this component counter button. So I will add counter button.jsx and add a stateless component, and I will copy it. I will copy this, Control X, and I can put it here. Okay, but now I need to pass this function, this increment. So I will use Refactoring, and now I need to call it. Okay, so counter button, and I need to pass the increment. Increment is equal to increment. So now I am passing a property. Okay, so when you pass property, this is called props drilling. Okay, so you pass property from the father to the son, and also maybe from the son to its son. This is called props drilling. Okay, so now I've done it with the counter button, and now I want to use this inside another component that is called counter button. Okay, so let's add here .jsx counter message. stateless component. And we will copy this. Control X. And let's put it here. And we need to pass it inside the props. We will use Refactoring. And let's put it here. So count equal count. So let's see if it is working. Let's check it first. Okay, we have the counter with the increment and the count. But we need to import it. So import counter button from counter button and import counter message from counter message. Okay, let's see that it is working. This is the counter simple, and this is the counter props drilling. So what we have here, we have props and we are drilling it inside our children component. Here we are passing increment, and here we are passing increment is a function and count is a variable, a state. And if we want to look at it in a schema, then this is what we have. This is the father component, and this is the child component, and we are passing props. We are drilling down props, and props are drilled only from the father to the son, from here and from here. It is important to know that this increment actually changes the state. So the state is changed back here, but the props are passed from the father to the child. So this is props dealing. If you want to look at a small summary, then what is props drilling? Props drilling is a way to pass data between components in React, in particular from the father to the son. The data props is passed always from father component to its children component. Props can contain information like a number, object, but also a function, which typically sets state. And this is the visual schema. Now let's do something and let's see what we have, for example, in Wix. Wix is a big company that uses React, and I'm not going very deep inside it because this is very complicated, but you can see that the top level component has props, and you can see the props that the top level component has. And I did not look further, but these props may be passed also to the children. Thank you.